All right, everyone. Welcome to Nerd Camp Sports. We are here, all three of us, Raj R&B, and myself.
All right.
Hope everyone's doing good today. How y'all doing on this Sunday?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Doing pretty, doing good.
All right. So, hold up. There's just so much stuff over here. Got ways so I could get this out my way. There we go. All right. So, got quite a bit happened this week. Quite a bit happened this week in the sports world. And we're going to start off talking about Mr. Stafford. Mr. Stafford is staying put with the Rams. I wasn't able to get the details of what they agreed to, but we were speaking about it before. And Raj, just if you want to just redo your take, since we kind of had some difficulties before, because this is all I started it all over. So,
All right, no problem. Yeah, no, I was just saying that I was also looking up, seeing exactly what the details were for his deal, and so far, from what I see, it's just reconstructing of his contract. So they don't really go into details exactly what or how much money he's getting paid. But I know he was asking for close to $50 million a year, or close to something like that. But real quick, how much is it?
52.
Yeah, 52 million. But I don't know. Maybe they came up with the number, gave it to him or not. It just says reconstructing of his deal, readjusting of his deal. Excuse me. But anyway, long story short, I feel my take is about as far as when it comes down to Matthew Stafford returning to the team. I think it's a great thing. I think they need each other. I feel like Matthew Stafford at this point in his career, he needs to be with a team that can pretty much support him, and he can support the team. And as long as he have a healthy wide receiver core like Puka Nacua, and you keep I would keep Cooper Kupp, and keep him on the team. And of course, make sure that everyone around him is healthy, like his offensive line. Make sure their defense is good. Then they got opportunity to make some noise in the NFC. But I didn't want to see him leave. I think he's found a good team for him. If he would have went to the Giants, that would have been disgusting. I don't want to see that. But as far as the Los Angeles Rams, I think that they can potentially get to the NFC Championship. I'm not saying they're going to win it, but I feel like if they can find a way to stay healthy, they can at least get there. That's their ceiling. So that's my take on it.
They almost went this year.
Yeah, but it was a lot of challenges. You remember, like Puka was hurt a lot this season,
and
Right.
Cooper, yeah.
Yeah, and Coop. You know what I'm saying? So they got to stay healthy. That's the only thing holding them back is their health.
I do believe that it is the right move for him to stay where he is. Going to the Giants, that doesn't help them push the envelope until they fix the offensive line. There's no point in having a serviceable quarterback until you fix the offensive line. So, and then the Raiders were in the mix. They're a little bit of a mess. Well, not a little bit. They're a mess. I honestly don't. There's so much wrong with them that you don't really know where to start to say how you could fix it. Yeah, they need a serviceable quarterback, but once again, if you have all those other issues, quarterback can only do but so much for you.
Right.
I know, there were speculations the Steelers were interested, but that never came to fruition. And the other one interested was Cleveland. As you know, we'll get into what about Deshaun Watson a little bit, but they're also in that same boat. So I think for all parties involved, meaning the Rams and Stafford, coming back together, figuring it out, knowing you still have a team that's on the field that can compete was the right decision.
I agree.
I don't disagree with either one of your takes. I definitely agree. I would go so far as to say I really don't even understand how the Rams let it get this far. Like how
Right.
I almost was thinking they was on some Saquon type shit. Like yeah, go out and test the market and see what your value is. Type. I'm like what? Like bro, y'all were literally one drive away. Really, not even one drive away. They were on the drive to beat the Eagles to go to the NFC Championship. And I
Right.
must say that they probably would have been the favorites to knock off Washington. So they were literally right there to contend for a Super Bowl this year. And I believe with Stafford under the helm, that they can contend for a Super Bowl next year. I don't think that the NFC Championship game is their threshold. I think it's the Super Bowl. I literally think that they can reach the Super Bowl as long as they're healthy and Stafford is playing the way he's played, that if they can keep that O line intact, that if that defense shows up again the way it showed up this past season, that young defense,
Mhm.
hey man, the Rams can be a problem for sure. So I'm glad they got that whole situation reconciled and woke up and finally gave him his money.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought up Washington because Washington just made a big splash. As we all know, Washington has traded for Deebo Samuel. Washington did say that after the season ended, they wanted to make sure they got the most out of Jaden Daniels under his rookie deal, which meant getting him more help. So what that tells me is Washington knows already after one season, they're going to have to pay him in a few years. They already know it. So, we spoke about Kyle Pitts was an option, that's something they were looking to do. But then they traded for Deebo Samuel. And I also read that the Niners aren't against moving Ayuk either. That's another story for another day. Well, R&B, you go first. What are your thoughts on this deal, this move for the Commanders? Push for them having having Debo, and does this help them push the envelope to get back to where they were last season? Maybe even shock the world and get to that Super Bowl.
I'm gonna be honest. I can say that I don't see it as a move that's gonna make them fall back. But to say that it's a move that really moves the needle, I can't say yeah and I can't say no. I'm gonna just kind of leave it at I really don't know because I really don't know what Debo has left in the tank. I really don't know if Debo is still Debo because these at least this past season, yeah, I really want to say the past couple seasons, but they did go, to the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
I think that was more so on the back of Brandon Ayuk and McCaffrey, if anything else. These past couple of seasons, Debo just has not looked like Debo of old. The Debo that held out and got his money. It just hasn't been the same guy. He's been nicked up. He's been injured here and there. His production has fell off on the field. So, you know what I'm saying? I can see, think about it. When do we see a talent with, a name, associate the name with the talent, get traded for just a fifth round pick? If San Francisco is that easy to let go of a name and a talent that level for just a fifth round pick, and San Francisco hasn't, said that they're going into any type of rebuild or anything like that. As far as we know, with San Francisco, they feel like if they were healthy this year, they would have been right back in the NFC Championship or possibly the Super Bowl. So they're still in contend mode, and you just
Right.
trade a player like that for a fifth round pick. So I'm gonna just have to put a pause on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, it's not anything to really hurt them, but I don't know if it really moves the needle per se. We just have to wait and see, I think.
The only thing I will say for sure that I know it'll help them do is obviously you got to bring attention to he's going to bring attention on the defensive side, regardless if you got him lined up to run or regardless if you got him lined up to receive.
Pass receive.
So I do think in that regard it is a positive. The only pushback that I do have is in alignment with what you said. Is that I do believe that you don't know if he can be that guy anymore. You don't know if he's the same individual because, like you said, San Francisco kind of just gave him away for a box of cookies. It seems like receivers, when Adams got traded, he was given away for the same thing. So now it's like, damn, anyone could have really grabbed him. You know what I'm saying? Like, anyone could have grabbed him, and that's a steal if you can handle the contract. So, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. That I'm not sure either. The only edge I will say that it will help them is that they will be able to, they will have someone that'll help take some attention away from Scary Terry, because that's who is going to do the 1,000 yards. Don't matter if Stevie Wonder's throwing to him. That man knows how to get 1,000 yards in a season. Like, what else can you say? What's your take, Raj?
I jumped in on it, the tail end of it. What was the question?
Deebo Samuel trade going to the Commanders. Does it help push the needle or the envelope? And do you see if they can get back to the big game? I didn't even answer that, so let me answer that real quick.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest,
real quick, I
Yeah.
believe they have the potential because of the strength that doesn't exist in the NFC. They have the potential to get back there. I don't think it was a fluke, but I do believe in that sophomore slump. So
yeah.
I do believe that there will be a step taken back, but I don't think it'll be a huge step. I think they'll still be able to get somewhere, maybe back there. I don't see them getting to the big game. That's just my take on that part. So go ahead, Raj. It's on you.
Okay. As far as but I mean, as far as seeing them take a step, or did they, it is, and I mean, you would probably say the owners was the run game, and this kind of like takes over that. It kind of fixes it, but I don't think they're going to utilize Deebo as a complete running back. They're probably going to use him as like a special package type running back, but they're not going to have him full time as a running back. But they need that.
That wouldn't be.
They need that run game because with some.
Yeah, he would be more like he's saying he'd be more like
With somebody like Scary Terry putting up 1,000 yards, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to keep it the way it is. I think they're going to have Deebo Samuels as somebody that's going to, basically play a wide receiver and every once in a while step out and, become a running back. But it's not going to really move the needle for them to get to the Super Bowl or anything like that, in my opinion. So that's it.
Okay.
I will say to what Raj was just saying, though, it is noted that Deebo Samuel had started to become growingly frustrated in San Francisco because of his role of being used as a gadget player. That is noted. He wanted to more so have a role where he was featured as a straight wide receiver. So, partly because of the wear and tear, that it does to your body as far as playing the way he's played, lining up, at running back, taking passes off the screen like a running back, so on and so forth. It is noted that he's wanted to play more of a traditional wide receiver role. So maybe Washington is willing to, give him that.
Right. I mean, if you want to do it once in a while, you can do it, cool, but it's not something you should be doing every game. And I think there's no doubt in my mind that him having those lineups and doing that has attested to his injuries as well, has contributed to his injuries.
Hey, real quick before we leave this subject,
Yeah.
this is a question that I got for y'all as far as that trade too. We all know Debo has been known to be somewhat of a diva.
Right.
I wonder, how he fits in with that locker room. Is there going to be good chemistry with that locker room as far as like on the mindset? Like, does he fit the same type of, will he fit in? Like, will that be of any type of distraction to Jaden Daniels at all? You know what I'm saying? Will he come in with this, get me the ball type attitude? Because I feel like he was a little bit has been a little disgruntled since Brandon Ayuk started to do his thing last year with San Francisco. So could that be a potential thing going forward with him?
I do agree he has been a little bit of a prima donna. um, and I think that now there's no doubt you were upset about your role. I believe there was something behind the scenes going on between you and the team that wasn't good. So you decided to get out of there. Okay. Got no issue with that. Or you wanted to leave, or however this came about. But I do believe that if he comes in with that attitude, 110%, it's going to be a problem. But if he comes in with the attitude like, okay, new team, new situation, this could be good for me. I think that he's just having some problems today, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, if you can, if he can come in with that mindset of, okay, I can do this, and I'm just gonna see where I fit in. I think more or less, as long as they don't make him be the running back or do running back activities, I think they'll be okay. But they start asking him and relying on him to be the running back, that's when he's going to be like, yo, like, come on, I don't want to do this or that. That's the problem that I could foresee if that were to happen. But if that don't happen, I think he'll get in where he fits in. But I would still have my reservations if I was the coach about him being that way. That's for sure. Well, Raj isn't backstage yet, so we can wrap back to that when he comes back on. Uh, so I read that that the Cleveland Browns are I read it right before we came on. Actually, it popped up. The Cleveland Browns are probably done with Deshaun Watson. They're saying pretty much that that it's over. They don't think they can do anything with him. What are your thoughts on that? And is Deshaun Watson done altogether?
It's always hard to look at a great talent or what we once seen as a great talent like that and go through the things that he's been through as far as like with the law or with the injuries and stuff like that. And then
Mm-hmm.
just all of a sudden they're not that great talent anymore. Or it just doesn't seem like they have it in them to be that great talent anymore. So it's always hard to look at them and say, that they're done. So with that being said, I don't know. I can't say that he's, completely done. But what I can say is that with the situation in Cleveland, the way things have been and have gone since he's gotten there, uh, I will say that I think he's done as the quarterback for the Cleveland Browns franchise, as he should be. That neither one of them have done a service to one another, if you ask me. Uh,
Right.
so the defense has been legit, but when Deshaun Watson was healthy, they didn't really go and bring in any talent to try to move the needle to, get themselves over the top, as you would think they would do when you go get a name and talent, like a Deshaun Watson. But his play has been absolutely horrendous as well. So It's a double. They should be done with each other. Move on. I don't really see if they can do anything in this draft because I don't know how deep this draft is as far as quarterbacks. I think we potentially may see I think they're talking possibly 3 quarterbacks going the first round. So that's not really too deep. Because normally we see more quarterbacks come off the board in the first round, especially
Right.
for
Absolutely.
teams in need like Cleveland. But I just don't know if they're there to be picked this year. So
Well,
they're gonna move on from them. They're gonna have to probably rock with a backup or bring in a veteran or something like that, and just kind of go from there.
I think Cleveland has the third pick overall. So if there's 3 quarterbacks on the board, um, there's a chance that they can get one, right? Um, in terms of Watson, I just want to kind of highlight something about him first before I kind of go in to the Cleveland side. Anytime you take time off for any reason, you're not the same. That much time in your prime or during an early part of your career, you're usually not the same, unless it's an injury related thing, right? Because if it's injury related, you're rehabbing, you're still training, you're doing things to get back on the field. But when you're suspended or you're holding out, um, most players aren't keeping themselves in football shape. They're probably eating whatever they want, just like, well, in his case, they suspended me. Fuck them. I'm just gonna do what I do, right? So, and it might not be all players, but in this case, it's just my opinion. He probably, wasn't training. So now you come back on the field, you got this big bag and the responsibility of taking a team that defensively already has everything they need, but needs the quarterback. And that's supposed to be you. Well, now you get on the field, and, obviously, I didn't expect Watson to come on the field and light it up right away, right? Like, I didn't expect him to um, just start launching in 4 touchdowns, 400 yards, 1 pick, 100 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. But you take that time off, you're going to kind of be reserved, and you don't always know if you can come back from that. And he's shown, at least to this point, he's not able to do that. On the flip side, talk about Cleveland. Yeah, they definitely need to be done with one another. There's only so many times you're going to want to do this song and dance, especially considering you're in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. So you have to find a way to get out of that. And if like I said, I think they have the third pick. If there's a quarterback on the board, take them. But this experiment's over. As for is he done? I agree with you, R&B. I don't know either, but I don't think teams will be lined up for his services. Not saying a team won't take him, but there won't be a lot of teams just based on what they saw. Someone will give him an opportunity, I believe. And hey, I don't know how it works, but if they cut him, that's the other thing. If they're gonna cut him, because no one's gonna pick up that contract via trade. So it's either the Browns have to cut him, or he just have to sit on their bench and chill. That's my take. Go ahead, Raj.
Yeah, I agree. I think at this point they gotta basically break up. The Cleveland Browns have been in a bad state for a very long time. They've been missing that key quarterback to get them over the hump. I think Deshaun Watson dealing with his personal issues, the lawsuits, all this stuff, like it all plays a factor into who he is as an athlete. And I think at this point, he's got to kind of go into that role of being like a mentor, a veteran quarterback that's kind of like mentoring a potential prospect.
So if he goes to a team that really has low expectations, don't really expect like anything out of their team and stuff like that. Like, yeah, the quarterback. Like for instance, if he, I just throw a team out there. Like if he goes to, let's say he goes to the Tennessee Titans.
Okay.
He kind of like takes on that role of being a veteran, mentoring whoever comes out of the draft. I think that'll be a perfect fit for him because he gets the opportunity to kind of relax, play that Joe Flacco type role where he's not really got those expectations on him. He doesn't have to go out there and put up crazy numbers. He don't have to win. All he have to do is just show up to work, positive attitude, and just going out there helping others. That's it. I think he needs that. I think he needs that in his career right now.
Do you guys foresee maybe like, okay, like there are certain teams where, like, let's just say hypothetically, the Browns cut him. Okay. They cut their losses. They take whatever what you call this, the hit against the cap is, whatever that is. Probably gonna be a high number because they got a lot left on that deal, right?
Right.
Could you see him going to a team where not any expectations are expected, and because he just wants to play like, let's be honest, the Giants, they're gonna need a quarterback. We're not expecting anything from them right now. That's one. Or they're saying that in Vegas that I think what's his name, Aiden O'Connell, he's not going anywhere. But there's talks about Russell Wilson coming there because Pete Carroll's there. Is that an avenue? I'm trying to think of another team that really has no expectations but needs a quarterback.
I agree. I wouldn't say the Giants, and the reason why I wouldn't say the Giants is because of the media. But if you put them on a team like you mentioned, Las Vegas Raiders, like I said, Tennessee Titans, or you put them on a team.
Don't the Titans have the number 2 pick?
Yeah, they have the number 2 pick. But what I'm saying is have them like play like a veteran role.
They got the number 1 pick.
Number 1 pick. Yeah, you're right. Number 1
Titans
pick. I'm sorry.
Number 1. Okay. Well, no, but I was just kind of just asking it from another. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for a team where they need a quarterback and he would actually play. Like, is there a team out there? That's what I mean when I said the Giants or the Raiders. Yeah. There's a team.
I probably. Yeah, like
expectations. I don't know. Those are the only two that come to mind right now. But yeah.
Honestly, you know what? I don't know if they could do it, but maybe it'll be a good fit. I would trade him for Kyler Murray.
Well, Murray I did read something about him potentially being on the move. Like and the thing about the Cardinals that's weird is like there's games where they look like a good team. There are games where you're like, wow, they look good. But the problem is they have the equal amount of games where they look bad. So they end up 8-9, 9-8, 7-10. I don't think Kyler Murray's a bad quarterback. I just think for whatever reason, there's just a bad like a dark cloud over that team. But I think you think
I was going to say, I think they play in a bad division. Like, as far as like they play in a good division as far as competition. But for Kyler Murray, I don't think he can get him over that hump.
So wait a minute. All right. So let's just say that happened.
Yeah.
If he can't survive the NFC West, let's just hypothetically say they did trade Watson and Kyler Murray. He'll die in the AFC North. He'll get killed. Seriously. Like you were saying, you were just talking about he can't throw over there. I mean, you got the Ravens, that defense, the Steelers, that defense. I mean, offensively, the Bengals, we know what it's about, and we're going to get into them next. But defensively, he will get eaten by those two defenses.
Yeah.
And like no matter how you really look at it, I think expectations would be higher for Cleveland because
Yeah.
they are in the AFC North, one of the tougher divisions in football. You are on a new team. You were they do have a defense, right? And then if they were to get
and in order for expectations to be high, it has to be a reason. Cleveland doesn't really have any reasons to have any
Right.
high expectations, even with a Kyler Murray.
Well, no,
Name me their number one receiver.
I'm not saying high expectations, but
I don't know it either.
There would be somewhat of somewhat of an expectation. That's all. It don't have to be high. It's just like, okay, we moved you to do this, but
yeah, but
Murray
it's
has
more
already proven that he's not the type of quarterback that you're going to trade for and say, we traded for you to come here and do this and raise the level of everyone around you. That's not with him. So if
Right.
Deshaun Watson in his prime couldn't do it, Kyler Murray damn sure ain't gonna be able to do it either.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a move to give everybody a fresh start. If it happens, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying like that's just an example of like just getting them out the way, giving them a fresh start to kind of like move the story along, because like you said, we can't keep doing the same song and dance. He's going to come back from this injury, and he's going to potentially get hurt again, or he's going to be terrible.
Murray or Watson? I'm
sorry. Watson, I think he was talking about.
Yeah, Watson.
About Watson. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say real quick, Mike, in reference to what you were saying earlier. Well, just a second ago, I don't think that they can cut Deshaun Watson. I don't think that they'll eat that money. I think that they will trade him, and I don't think it's going to be that hard to trade him, because you got to think about it. Deshaun Watson got that contract, 3 years ago? Almost 4 years ago?
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been about 4 years.
So we just seen Matthew Stafford get paid again, who's a veteran. We've seen Josh Allen, young in his prime, get paid. We've seen Lamar Jackson, young in his prime, get paid. We've seen Patrick Mahomes get. So the needle has steadily gone up ever since he's gotten paid. Now, with saying that, it is still a big contract, but it's not as big as it was when they first gave it to him compared to some of these other bigger contracts. The thing is that I think, real quick, I'm gonna finish right here, and I'll give it right to you. The reason why I feel like he will get traded versus getting cut is because, remember what I always say, it's always going to be a franchise out there that's going to look at a name like Deshaun Watson and feel like they can get that talent back out of him again, that they can revitalize his career, and they'll take a shot to do it.
I'd be forgetting, you know what?
Remember that name.
I'm not including, I keep forgetting those years he was injured. So, like, in my mind, in watching him play, it's been like he got that contract like 2 years ago versus like 4 years ago, because he missed that season and like part of that other season. So all that time just kind of is like a blur.
Yeah. And then he missed the whole last season with the Texans. Remember, he just sat out without even being suspended.
Right. Yeah. They just were like, yeah. And that's, like I said, that's just a testament to why he's not the same player. When you miss all that kind of time, it's hard to turn back the clock, because we had Watson, like when we talking about the top quarterbacks, there was a point in time where we should be talking about Burrow, Jackson, Mahomes, Allen, and Watson, as those five guys.
It was really, if you really want to tell the truth, it was Mahomes, and then it was Watson.
Yes.
Even over Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
It was Mahomes, and it was Deshaun Watson was number 2. It's who we were looking at as like, the greatest talents in the NFL at the quarterback position.
Absolutely. But speaking of great talents, man, the Cincinnati Bengals fucked up. They fucked up not paying Jamar Chase last season, because now they got to pay him a lot of money and they ain't willing to do it. I am reading that the Bengals and that Jamar Chase are nowhere close to a deal.
Mm-mm.
In you guys' opinions, how much money do you think he deserves a year? And we know they're going to get a deal done. It's going to take them a while, but we know one will get done.
If
How
it
long?
doesn't, ooh, if it doesn't.
But
Oh, that's a bad thing if it doesn't.
let's just hypothetically say it doesn't. What's the end result?
If they don't get a deal done, what's the end result? That's what you're asking.
Right. Yeah, like is he a free agent?
If
Is he a free agent or not yet?
Jamar,
Yeah.
no, he not a free agent. No, not yet. They could still franchise tag him, but that don't mean he play under it. He might just hold out because he wanted his money last summer, and they didn't want to give it to him, and he held out till he finally came back. This is truly the year that he was supposed to, get paid anyway. That's why they didn't want to pay him last year. But if they were smarter, they would have did the right thing and the smart thing, which some other teams we've seen do. Like for instance, with the Lions, it was smart for them to pay Amon-Ra St. Brown when they paid him, because look at the seasons he's put together since we paid him, or the season he put. You know what I'm saying? So you got him at a cheaper rate than waiting. It's the same thing with Dallas. How Dallas keep messing up. They keep waiting too long to pay their players, and then they end up having to pay them more. So with
Same
Jamar
thing
Chase, if
here.
they had paid him last year, you probably looking at maybe like what 30, 32 million maybe a year.
Right. 35 max.
Mm-hmm.
And then he went out and won the Triple Crown on your ass.
Went off.
So now what you expect?
Now I would, if I'm him, I'm not taking.
I want to be the highest paid.
I ain't
I
taking.
want to be the highest paid.
I ain't taking nothing
As he
less
should.
than 50.
Somebody tell me what Cooper Kupp got paid when he won Triple Crown and they went on and won the Super Bowl.
Well, did he get like 35?
Didn't he get paid?
Yeah, he got paid.
I want to say he got 35. I'm
So I need to be if Cooper Kupp got 35, I need at least 41. And why is that? Because he had talent around him to go win the Super Bowl. You've given me nothing to work with but a bad defense with Henderson on it and Joe Burrow.
Facts. So real quick, guys, here's my take on it. Okay. You got wide receivers. Hold on a second. I'm pulling up right now that are getting paid way more than Jamar Chase right now. You got wide receivers like Curtis Samuel, Adam Thielen, Marvin Harrison Jr., okay, Darnell Mooney, Kristen Kirk. All these people are getting paid more. Amari Cooper getting paid on an annual basis more than Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase is only getting paid $7.7 million on an annual basis. The highest paid wide receiver in the NFL is Justin Jefferson. He's getting paid $35 million. If I am Jamar Chase's agent, I'm asking for $40 million, nothing less.
Nothing less.
And I think even that's kind of being generous. You know,
it is. Yeah.
Because I read that he said he didn't want anything under 50.
Which is right where it should be, because we think about how the collective bargaining agreement. Every single year it goes up.
Right.
The money goes up. Like I just pointed out, Marvin Harrison Jr. got paid more. He's getting paid on an annual basis more than Jamar Chase because he came in as a rookie. That was the top, I believe top 10 pick, right?
Yeah, he was number 2 or number 3.
Yeah, so he got like 7. He got I think he was number 2. He got I think 7. It says $7 million on here, so $7.8 million. So it just shows you, like, on an annual basis, rookies are getting paid more than Jamar Chase right now, and it's not fair because, like we just mentioned, he put up a Triple Crown numbers that we haven't seen in a long time. And if he's asking for a new deal, they should have been negotiated this. I don't know why they're waiting, because he's going to reset the market value once he goes out there and say, listen, guys, it's been fun here, but I'm leaving. I'm becoming a free agent. If he becomes a free agent, it's going to go crazy. And I think that's what's going to end up happening. If they have a bad season next season, the Cincinnati Bengals have to blow this whole team up.
Well, the thing is, bro, about that is the Cincinnati Bengals really have two huge problems that stop them from really being the elite competitor that they are. And one of them was is the same problem when they went to the damn Super Bowl, is the offensive line. They cannot protect Joe Burrow. It's like that's why he got his ACL torn when in his second year or what have you. So like it's that, and then the defense is so compromised. If you
horrible.
Like if you're scoring 45, but your defense allows 46, guess what? You lost. And another like yeah, it's kind of like Call of Duty, right? I used to like play it kind of a lot of when I used to be okay, but people would be like, I was playing the game with one of my boys and his brother one day. His brother's like, yeah, man, I got 15 kills. But he's like, yeah, nigga, but you had 20 deaths. Like, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. If you have 15, or if you have, you scoring 45, the other team scoring 46, you're losing. So, the offense, they ain't got no issues. They played some crazy games, especially in the second half. But the other thing is, I feel like the team forgets that there's two halves to a season, because like the first 8 games they were like awful, and then the second half it was just like, oh, okay, y'all do remember. So I just do firmly believe that they need to fix their defense and their offensive line. And honestly, they're both important. But I feel like, unfortunately for Joe Burrow, the defense is more important, because that's what's shooting you more in the foot. You're putting up 40 points a game, throwing all these yards with no offensive line. What's another year? Right now, I would focus. If I had to prioritize one over the other, I'm prioritizing my defense, because that's what's compromising me more.
You gotta prioritize both. This is draft time. You have to take advantage of draft time to go after linemen. Even if it means trading to get more picks. Draft as many defensive linemen and offensive linemen as you can, along with some linebackers.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right. So, I mean, well, it's gonna be Jesus Christ. It's gonna be an interesting time, that's for sure, on what the Bengals will do, because they definitely gonna need it. While we're in the AFC North, I read that the Pittsburgh Steelers are what you call it. They are pushing towards keeping Justin Fields over Russell Wilson. R&B, what are your thoughts on that?
I'll say this.
Yeah.
I can understand why they want to stay with him over Russ. Russie is older. Justin Fields is young, so I guess I could look at it and see it, their way that they're probably looking at it. Let's go with the youth, who has the upside, the mobility, you know what I'm saying? But I really don't know what to say for Pittsburgh these days, to be honest with you. I don't know. I mean, Russ played. If you really want to know the truth, Russ played once he got inserted into the starting lineup. He played fairly well, you know what I'm saying? Up until maybe I'll say a little late down the stretch there. his play fell off a little bit. Then they got into the playoffs and they struggled. But with Justin Fields, like I said, I think I asked this question before last week. I think if Justin Fields remains the starter throughout the season into the playoffs, what do you think the end result would be? And we all kind of agreed that it wouldn't have been no different. First round playoff exit. They're struggling to score at times. They don't have a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, to be honest with you. Najee Harris has not been what we thought Najee Harris was going to be running the ball. It's like they just anemic on the offensive side of the ball. And again, I don't disagree with them for looking at it and saying, hey, we're going with the youth and the upside. But what are you going to do with the youth and the upside to make it better? What type of talent are you going to bring in to surround with him? Because we all see right now, at least at this stage in his career, which he's been in the league, 3 seasons now? 4 seasons, something like
4
that?
seasons. Yeah. He's going
Four.
to his
He's
4th.
not the one that's going to come in and lift the talent around him. He can make some plays with his mobility. He can definitely do that. But you have to get talent to play with him. You can't just rely on him throwing for, 200 yards a week, a touchdown, try to limit the interceptions, and hopefully the defense can get you home and he doesn't throw any turnovers. That's not a winning formula. This is the 2025 modern day NFL. You have to fucking score points, Mike Tomlin. Get talent. Get receivers opposite George Pickens. They should be blowing the house down to try to bring in somebody like a T. Higgins. Debo goes for a 5th round pick. Hell, they should have been blowing the house down with 2 5th round picks to bring in somebody the name caliber of Debo if he has anything left in the tank. You know what I'm saying? These are the things that I just don't understand, man, when it comes to Pittsburgh, why we're not seeing them do this shit. You know what I'm saying? But I digress, man. Leave it to one of y'all.
You know what? Listen, R&B so eloquently laid it all out. We don't know what direction this team is going in. And I feel bad for you, Mike, because like this is a team that's like it's right on the cusp of being a really good team, but they make some bad decisions. And I just rather be a bad team at this point. And I think that's what the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's the direction they're going to take. Because if they keep Justin Fields and they get rid of Russell Wilson, and I remember last week we talked about this, and my take was, keep Justin Fields. But I had time to think about it. I'm like, it's not going to work because George Pickens is immature. He's not the type of wide receiver that's going to adjust to, the type of style and gameplay that Justin Fields had. He's not going to get the ball as much. And on top of that, this is going to be a huge learning experience for Justin Fields. Because remember, when he went out there for those first few games, he was balling. He was doing good. And he had the support of Mike Tomlin. He had support of Pittsburgh. But now he's looked at as being, okay, now it's your team. Like, what are you going to do with it? And we seen how he is under the bright lights. He's not that good. So I don't know. This is a tough move.
That's why I wouldn't say when he was playing, I disagree with you last year. He wasn't balling. He was just playing good. It's a difference. He wasn't balling. When Russ came in, Russ was balling. Justin was just playing good. If Justin would have been balling, we'd have never seen Russ.
That's true. That's true. So I don't know. I think they're going to reset the whole team. I think Mike Tomlin is going to finally lose on this battle. He's going to lose his job, man, because it's going to get nasty. It's going to get nasty in Pittsburgh, and it's going to get nasty real quick because we already see the digression of the regression of George Pickens.
Damn,
we already
Mike,
seen
your
it.
team then regressed to sounding like the title of a bad Tubi movie. Nasty in Pittsburgh.
I would say this.
Produced by Raj.
While I was surprised how Fields played when he was in, we knew that they were going to move to Russell Wilson.
Right.
Because you cannot play that style of football and win games consistently. You've got to throw the ball down the field. You have to.
You want to know what else, Mike?
What's that?
What I say earlier about Debo. Name. You don't bring in a name the caliber of Russell Wilson to sit an entire season and not at least put him on the field once to see what you get out of it.
Right. Exactly.
And one more thing too. You got to remember, Pittsburgh got a problem with their wide receivers. Just keep that in mind. Antonio Brown syndrome. Something happens to their wide receivers. I don't know if it's like CTE problems, but when they get to that point where they start showing their talent, they start flipping. They just go crazy. They go haywire. So it's something to look out for next season because I feel like George Pickens is going to be off the team next season if he doesn't get his act right.
So, yeah, that's true. He's going to have some issues. That's for sure. But I also believe that when it comes to Russell Wilson, their scheme got figured out, and this is obviously a testament, or not a testament, but this is obviously something to Mike Tomlin. They didn't change the scheme. They didn't do anything different on the offensive side of the ball to trick anyone. And, you know, like people would say to me, well, they're looking bad. I'm like, I would say that their defense looks tired because they've had to cover for the offense all season. Now, when it's at the end of the season and you've got a defense that's been churning its wheels for, 15, 16 games, your offense should be pretty, has to come and show up. You don't use Freiermuth enough in the short game. Harris did not play up to, the standard I know that he can play. You don't check the ball down enough, right? You prey on these moon balls, which, were like to them in the beginning, like 50-50 balls. But then when they became like 30-70 balls and we were on the 30% side, you're still throwing them. That's not good. That's not going to win you games.
Everybody started doubling George Pickens. He started getting doubled and seeing different coverages. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it. Y'all might have fucked up when you traded Deontay Johnson. When you when you got rid of him.
I
might have got rid of him a little too soon. If you're gonna take the headache out of Pickens for the play, you might as well keep taking it out of him in order to be good too for the play. God damn it. You trade him away for when you ain't gonna do nothing to replace him. So you out here with one good receiver and a damn near average tight end and no running game. And a bad offensive line. They suck.
Yeah. And it's an issue. It's a big issue. So I think if I were between the two, Fields is not a permanent answer. Russ isn't either, but he's a better answer if you have to pick between one of these two. Because you can't let them both walk, because then you're really in worse trouble. You have zero chance. At least with one of them, you have a chance. But you let them both walk, you got zero. Zip. Nada.
Yeah.
So I'm just at the point where as a fan, it's kind of all right, you're going to do what you're going to do. But I don't think I think Russ gives you a little more to hold on to, but they got to change the scheme if they're going to keep him. You got to be able to change the game plan. You got to be able to say, okay, this isn't working, and do certain things. With Justin Fields, it sucks because I think he does deserve an opportunity, but he just doesn't throw the ball well enough. And when you get to the nitty gritty of the season, even if we got 14 wins going in, towards the end of the season, once you start getting into those end of the season games and people are playing harder and the game gets a little tougher, you have to be ready. You have to be prepared.
Right.
and they will not be able to prepare because you have to throw the ball down the
Mhm.
field. They will not. You cannot prepare anyone for that. You cannot make them throw the ball down the field. That's just
Yeah.
that's just the reality of the situation.
It's true.
Again, another reality too would be maybe a quarterback who's not that confident throwing it down the field gains more confidence throwing it down the field when you go get wide receivers that can win one-on-one and get separation and make themselves open down the field. Only
Yeah.
one. And George Pickens wasn't even getting the best separation when he was playing with Justin Fields.
True.
He wasn't even getting the best separation when he was playing with Russ. It just the balls were good enough for him to go and catch them. Balls.
Yeah. Oh man. So, all right. So it's not a week unless we talk about the fraudulent one.
Oh,
This guy, I'm surprised he hasn't went into his cave yet to decide if he wants to be reincarnated from.
I'm
By
sick of you,
Jesus.
Mike. I'm sick of you, damn it.
What I do now?
I'm producing next week's show.
You're producing next week's show?
I'm producing next week's show. No goddamn Aaron Rodgers. See, I know you a Stephen A guy. I know you a big fan of Stephen A, and Stephen A love to cover the Cowboys. So you trying to make Aaron Rodgers your personal Cowboys?
Well,
goddamn.
to my defense, Raj did put it in his topics. Okay,
I did.
Yeah.
This time I did.
Mofo.
Yeah, so
this time I did.
Backstabbing mofo.
It was news. I all right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So rumor has it that Aaron Rodgers has reached out to the New York Giants to go play there.
Yeah.
By the look on your face, R&B, I need you to go first. I need you to go first.
Yeah.
Just made my little trefoil Girl Scout cookie disgusting to hear. To hear that good the taste of my cookie.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, he's shaking his head. He's just like, you don't even know what to say.
I don't, because it's like, why? Why would you want to subject yourself to? Brian Dable is a good coach in my estimate.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you win Coach of the Year and then go on to have those 2 shitty seasons back to back because of all of a sudden forgetting how to coach. So that tells me, from what I've been watching with my 2 eyes, the Giants don't have much talent to work with. I know they got Malik Neighbors, who's looks like a great talent.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody tell me what else?
What else the Giants have?
It's because old boy they drafted on the defensive. What's it? The one they took with the defensive end.
I don't know.
I can't think his name.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, but I don't know his name offhand.
I don't know.
And that's a testament to how much he's been a top pick that we can't even think of his name right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I just don't know what they have there for you to. You're 41. So at this point, if it's not about trying to go somewhere where you can contend to win a championship and prove that you still got MVP play or at least can lead a team to a championship game, then just fucking retire.
I agree.
I get so tired of my favorite greats, bro. It seems like it's always with my favorite greats.
Mm-hmm.
It's just always this bullshit at the end of their careers. It's like, dude, just the Giants? I'm not going out and getting the Giants jersey, Aaron Rodgers. I already went out and got the fucking Jets jersey. 2 of them. And you not even there no more, you son of a bitch. If you're not going to contend for a championship,
Oh man.
fucking go to the cave and retire. I don't want to see you in no fucking Giants uniform being subjected to more bullshit in New York.
Yeah.
Hey, go ahead.
Real quick, I gotta kind of tag along on that, but also add in, you gotta remember, it's a 2-for-1 deal, R&B. If you get Aaron Rodgers, you get his best friend in the background with the football in his arm. You gotta remember that. So don't just say Malik Neighbors. You also got Devontae Adams.
And that football.
And that football in his arm.
If him and Devontae couldn't make a difference with Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall and some of the talent that they got there in New Jersey, it's not. I don't see it being any different.
He just don't want to leave that stadium, bro.
No, I know. No, I'm agreeing with that. But you also got to remember, we talk about Aaron Rodgers here, man. This dude is an enigma. I think he should retire. I've been said he should have retired. But the problem is he don't believe he should retire. You know why? Because he feels he still got it. And maybe he does. But at this point, we don't want to see it. I just want to see him just go ahead and just be great. But you know what it's going to end up looking like? It's going to end up looking like T-Mac in a New York Knicks jersey. That's what it's going to end up looking like.
Nah, it's going to be Patrick Ewing on the Magic, bro.
Yeah, it's going to be Patrick Ewing on a Magic, Shaq on the Cavs.
At least give me Shaq. Shaq a champion. Aaron Rodgers a champion. Don't give me nobody that's not a champion.
But okay, so it's going to be Shaq with the Cavs then. But look, that's going to end up looking like.
What I'm saying is, it's not. I'm not comparing it to champions. It's just I'm comparing it to like when it's hard to watch.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to be a hard watch.
That's what I mean. Like watching Patrick Ewing. Like I remember even on 2K, like they had one of the throwback teams, and like even the picture, he was like, oh. Like it was just hard to even see the picture. That's what I'm comparing it to. Like it's hard to watch.
Yeah, or even like Hakeem Olajuwon on the Toronto Raptors. Like we don't want to see that.
Steve Nash on the Lakers, and then him going up
we don't
there
want
and
to see
saying
that.
He's gonna play because he needs the money.
I'm
like, bro, when he
still
said
balling a little bit in Toronto.
When Steve Nash
it was horrible, man. It's horrible to see it.
When he said I'm gonna come back because I need the money, I was like, all I could picture is, I bet you Kobe smacked him so fucking hard in the locker room. Like, don't you ever be on my team and say that shit.
Oh man,
ever. Fuck you up.
Like, but yeah, what the fuck Leandro Barbosa says? Somebody take his wife again.
Exactly. But yeah, we all want to see Aaron Rodgers retire. Well, at least I do. And I think you said the same thing, R&B. But it's just like
I want to see him retire. I just want to see him great. I want to see him contend.
He's not going to end up. I don't think he's going to end up on a contending team. That's the problem. Because his arrogance is getting in the way, man. He could have ended up on a contending team. He could have picked any team he wanted. But his ego is getting in the way. His ego is getting in the way. I don't know why he chose the Jets. I'm a diehard Jets fan. But it just seems like he's trying to prove something. And it's not working. So that's my take.
I disagree. I think when Aaron Rodgers chose to go to the Jets, the whole world was clamoring for that shit because we felt like the Jets had a good squad. Y'all had a good running game. You had offensive rookie of the year and Garrett Wilson, defensive rookie of the year, and what's his name? From Detroit. He had such a bad year last year. Sauce Gardner. Yeah. Y'all had a lot going for yourselves that made it look like, man, they are literally a quarterback away.
Yeah, that's true. But it was so much.
Who said that about the Giants? Damn, man. I hate to say, even though they're in my division, Minnesota, Man, I could think of. Damn it! If him and Devontae Adams is a package, go help Mike out in Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Put another great receiver opposite George Pickens.
That's what I'm saying. It's an ego thing, man. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he wants to be the coach, the GM. You know, he wants to be the franchise quarter. He want to be it all. And Mike Tomlin ain't going to allow that. He'll shut that down quick.
Well, I think when it comes to this, I agree. I wouldn't, if I were him, why subject myself to more abuse? And I just think he knows that there aren't many options for him. But yeah, he don't want to throw in the towel and just say, you know what, I had a good career overall. You know, this didn't work out with the Jets, and that's okay. Maybe I wasn't meant to win another Super Bowl. Wasn't meant, you know, you're in a lot of NFL records at your position. You have made an impact on the game, so it's okay. You know, and the Giants ain't it. You know, to R&B's point, you want to contend, or at least find a team where you have an opportunity to contend. Y'all know I don't want to see him in the black and yellow. That just isn't something I want to see. And
You don't want to see it, but if he took y'all ass to the Super Bowl, you would be right there cheering. So you can say you going all you want. I don't believe you.
I won't say that I wouldn't be, but I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be happy about signing him to a deal. That is the only outcome that would make it okay. Is a Super Bowl.
Mike would be the only person watching the Super Bowl.
Angry.
Greatness, son.
Angry. You watch the Super Bowl mad.
Yeah.
And if they won it, I could hear them. They fucking won. Yeah, fucking won.
You know, but I do think that same thing. He should just throw in the towel. Call it a day. It's over. You're just not it anymore. Your time is came and your time has went. You know, and sometimes certain players don't know when they've stayed too long. Right now, I firmly believe if he stays any longer, because I don't fault him for going to the Jets. We knew it was over in Green Bay. And we know the injury definitely played a role, missing the first season. But this wasn't it. It's time, bro. Just go into your cave and don't come back out.
That's fucked up. Then we'd be watching TMZ. Somebody found Aaron Rodgers in a cave. I want him to come back out. Just go into it.
No, not like that. We don't want him to stay in the cave. You know, that's bad.
So, the NFL has decided to get rid of the chain gang and go to electronic measuring moving forward. And before I let y'all go, I kind of want to take this one because I'm a little aggravated with this. So there's two reasons why I'm aggravated primarily. The first in which is I like the chain gang personally. So now you're getting rid of jobs. That's the first thing. Telling guys they ain't got a job no more. Like, you know, I don't care the weather. I'll go out there and just move a chain up and down the field all day. But the second thing is, you know, when we're watching the game on TV and they say that the line isn't like, I forget the word they use, but it's not definitive. It's like an estimated line in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, if that line is estimated, how are the measurements you're going to show us not? How are you going to define that those lines are where they're supposed to be? And also, what if we know that technology isn't always on our side? You know, we had technical difficulties getting on the air today. So what if there's a technical difficulty with those lines? You're not going to have a chain gang available or the chains available, one, or, or some kind of backup. There's a lot of issues with this, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think it's terrible. And then what happens when something happens where someone gets a first down and then they were like, no, it glitched. The line was a yard more. So now it's 4th and 1 versus first and 10. This is terrible, god awful. And the league should be ashamed of themselves for doing. Y'all don't do enough that you're supposed to do with where you're supposed to do it. Y'all worried about adding games, making more teams go into the playoffs, instead of other things that could be done. So what? You just change to this electronic system, hoping it'll work, man. Roger Goodell, just like Cody Rhodes said to The Rock last night, go fuck yourself. Fucking asshole. Hate that guy. They should put, you know what? Take Roger Goodell and take Adam Silver, lock him in the cell with Diddy.
Oh, whoa.
Lock him in the cell. Get rid of them all.
Whoa.
They suck. That's
awful. A little too far, Mike.
It's not. I'm sick of sports being ruined from these two idiots.
Oh, man.
Roger Goodell Adam Silver got ears bigger than an elephant, but can't hear what we want. Y'all just finding ways to mess up All-Star Weekend.
He's soft still.
More. Like, how you messing up more?
He is soft. He is soft.
He is very, very soft.
I believe somebody fucking him, but
hey, yo, we on the air, but. Oh man! All right, let me just okay. On that note,
he's like, I gotta clean this up.
Yeah, I gotta clean it up because both y'all wilding right now over some chain gangs. I don't know what's going on with y'all. Look, okay, I don't like it, but I understand why they're making this move, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because of what happened in Buffalo. I know everyone's gonna say, "Well,
that's not gonna fix it."
But at least that would make them feel a little bit better about it.
Wait, what do you mean? What happened in Buffalo?
So if them feel it, we supposed to accept making them feel better about fucking us on when we see something that we clearly see that they're telling us we don't.
Right, and that's what I'm saying, because now there's no argument. Now it's technology that's proving that that's not a first down or that is a first down.
Too bad we all know what AI is capable of already, so that shouldn't work to the masses. If it does, then that's sad.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's gonna be something I think that's they're gonna implement because they're gonna use it and they're gonna take it off the hands of the referees, because now the referees are like looked at the referees are looked at as being the ones that's controlling the game. Like for instance, in baseball, I know a lot of people don't really follow baseball on here, but they're going to have umpires very soon. I don't know if it's this season or next season. They're talking about bringing in umpires that's going to measure out exactly what a strike is and what's not a strike. And that's because there's so many arguments about how these umpires and these referees are controlling the narrative. They're controlling the game. And what happened in Buffalo was a prime example, because I know a lot of Buffalo Bill fans still complaining about it. They're saying that was a first down.
That's bullshit, because an umpire does not control a game the way an NFL or an NBA referee can control a game. Of all referees, NFL and NBA have the most power of the control, the pace, and everything of the game over any other sport.
Right. But what I'm saying is it might not be as much, but that's why they're adding in the technology to control it, or technology to determine it, I should say.
Well, and that's the issue, because I think the world is really going in that direction. I know, like, it's a little off topic, but it's not. So y'all know I work at Nabisco now, but I used to work at Coke for 6 years. Coca-Cola in the Bronx, they just went to like a year ago, electronic picking. So now robots pick the soda in the warehouse.
Yeah.
And then they got all they have is a couple like what you call it? Like forklift guys that load it on the truck. I'm gonna kill these kids. God, I freaking hate kids. So yeah, they made a mess. They got I put my hand in the couch looking for something. They got nuts in there, like just wrappers, like they just can't do
So
nothing.
you about to get off live and go absolutely ballistic.
Yeah, like they're not here right now. They're not here. None of them. See, I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying?
You were saying about the Coca-Cola or Coca-
yeah. So the way the world's going is they're going to this electronic system with everything because they want to save money, right? It costs less money to maintenance a robot than it does to pay a person because now you got to pay them that whatever dollars an hour. You got to pay for the benefits for them and their family. You got to pay for the equipment they're using and servicing that equipment as well. So the same thing kind of applies. Like, yeah, the umpires need clothing, right? They need, the things for the counter. I mean, that's not a lot, but it adds up. They do a lot of games in a MLB season, 162 per team. That's a lot of games, right? So when you look at all that, from that perspective, I understand it because that's just the direction the world's going in. I mean, I even look at to take it one step further. Like, people say, oh, well, kids use their cell phones too much, which I agree with. However, when we were in COVID and the world got shut down, I'm on my MacBook. Kids were on Chromebooks doing school. And when they went back to school, I go to these open houses. There's no chalkboards. There's no marker or Sharpie or dry erase boards. They got computers. They don't have the overhead thing that they used to use anymore. These computers. So now they're bringing you. Now you look at it and it just brings it back to the NFL, electronic chain gang, right? Now you looking at the umpires, the same thing. It's just the world is turning on us, and us as sports fans, they're bringing it into a world where we aren't ready for change and don't want it to exist.
So we say, world,
just like this, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. But eventually it's going to happen. And when it happens, we just got to be ready for it. That's all.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this. Now, you guys are both fathers. Maybe you can attest to this analogy. This is how I feel. Is when the world changes, we're not truly ready. Much like when my children were born, I had everything I needed, but I wasn't ready, if that makes sense. I had everything I needed, but you're never truly ready. So it's on the fly learning, right? And you adapt eventually to becoming a father or a parent because it happens to mothers too. And it's the same kind of thing. Not exactly, but it's just the same. It's just an analogy, the same kind of analogy. It's like, damn, like I got to do this or I have to do that, and now we're bringing these changes and it's different. Even like I'm a gamer. Like when PS5 games went, PS2 went to PS3 and they were like $60. I'm like, wait a minute. I ain't ready for that. I adapt. Now a game is like, if you get it full price, I get them. I wait till they go on sale because I don't got time for games like that. But if you get it full price, they're $70 after tax and everything. $75. It's just you have to adapt.
It's only if you like the basic shit. a lot of times it's more than that if you want to get like all the extra shit, the
The
deluxe and
DLC. Yep.
Let me
You're
tell
right.
you,
Like NBA 2K costs you damn near $125.
well, that's just like the new wrestling game coming out. I'm in a few wrestling groups, and they got a new
March
like
10th.
the Roman Reigns the Bloodline edition, bro. My boy, I met a guy in a group. Ironically, his name's Michael Williams. Weirdest thing ever. Weirdest thing ever. Like he was just
Identity theft.
yeah, like he's a cool dude though. He's a cool dude. We
I
like
want to watch him. Might be a you.
Ah,
oh,
yo, that was good. That was good.
you. But we were
Facts.
but he was like,
Good
yeah,
movie.
man, I just bought the Bloodline edition. I'm like, nigga, what? And he's like, yeah, man, after tax, everything, 140.55. I'm like, oh,
No, I ain't paying that much for no game.
$140.55. And
I ain't
yeah, I
paying
mean,
that much
like
for no game.
the only good thing though about it is when you pay for that, you get everything with it. Like, and then you get access to all the later.
That's
stuff
why I
that
go
comes
ahead and
out.
pay for it.
So
That's
You
why
pay
I
for
just
it,
go ahead
RB?
and pay for it. Yeah, yes, I do.
so like yeah,
Because
so
I'm
like
gonna pay for it anyway. Just like
so
you say, you play 2K, you pay for it.
I don't buy all that stuff though. It's too much.
How many,
no,
how
but
many, how
what
many
I'm
bills you got?
Huh?
How many bills you got?
Only got 2 bills.
So what are they overalls?
I don't know, like 80 something, 89, 90.
Don't lie. What's they overalls?
No, that's their overall. That I don't really play. I don't really
Oh.
play my career like that. They're
Yeah,
like
but-
89, 90.
well,
I
once
give
you
you a pass, but you still spent some money to get them that high.
I did. But it's also, but all right, okay, real quick, and I want to get off topic, but it's also about grinding too. It's like building your way up to get to that. I didn't spend a lot of money.
You really only got to get one build up to that, and then after that, when you get the rebirth, you can take all your other bills to whatever your first bill was. So now I can
Right.
take all my bills to 99, but it costs like $160 to do it.
That's
Each
crazy,
bill.
man.
right, but if you get that big expensive one in the beginning, all that stuff you're gonna buy anyway as it comes out, you get access to it. So it does pay for itself if you are gonna be that heavy into the game. But if you're kind of just gonna be, the nonchalant, the generic player kind of thing, just get the basic standard edition, call it a day.
Easy food. That's what we call Rogers.
That's what I'm
Easy
saying. It's too much. It's too much money going to that. Like, I don't know. I feel games, they got to change that, but that's a whole nother topic.
Absolutely.
What's your bills overall, Mike? I be seeing you on there. I done sent you a couple invites that you wouldn't accept.
Yeah, you know what it is.
He like, I ain't about to go in the break and embarrass myself.
I don't play my player like that. I'm really not into it. So my builds are just not good. They're like 66. I really
Oh,
don't.
damn.
I just don't play my player. It's just really not my thing. Like the last.
You play like exhibition or something?
Yeah,
1v1?
Yeah, I usually play like some online stuff. I just play a random player. So we definitely will link up and get on there. You'll probably beat me down to the ground because I don't, like I said, I don't play like I used to. I don't play like I used to. So we'll transfer over to the NBA. Well, actually, we got one quick MLB topic. The MLB is considering reinstating Pete Rose and making him eligible for the Hall of Fame. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I'll go first and be quick. My thoughts are that you should have not put this bullshit into the conversation of today's episode because who really gives a fuck? The man is dead and gone now. And we've been clamoring and begging for them to put him in for years and they would not do it. And now that he's dead, they decide to fuck off with this.
Yeah.
Fuck the MLB.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree too. And on top of that, like I just feel like the MLB dropped the ball with that. The
And they know
MLB
they
dropped
did.
the ball. They could have got it right years ago if they would have did it while he was alive. And on top of that, like I don't
They
like how they did.
didn't drop the ball. They ran a great route. It was a great ball, and they simply Randy Mostert said, "I don't want that one. I want a better spiral," and they smacked it down. They didn't
Yeah,
drop it. They smacked it down.
it's just sad. And on top of that, I don't like how they did Barry Bonds either. So I'm not much. I love baseball. Like I watch it all the time. Like when baseball season comes up, I'm gonna be watching it. But I'm not a MLB advocate. Like I'm not out there pushing MLB because of these type of things. Like I just feel like there's a lot of good old boy network type stuff happening. And if you're not a part of that good old boy network, they're gonna treat you like trash. And ironically, you know, Pete Rose being one of those who you would think is a part of good old boys club, they didn't like him. And yeah, so I agree. I second what you said, R&B.
Well, you know, once they give you a narrative, and they've gone with the narrative so many years, it becomes part of who you are in the world. Maybe not to you or your family, but just from a hindsight view of what people now know. Like most big MLB fans, you know, they say, "Oh, you know, he was betting and gambling," you know, and
Now look, everybody's doing it.
I can't say that that's true. Most real true MLB fans are fans of Pete Rose, and most of them normally say that go ahead and put the man in. He should have been in. That's
Yeah,
the
he
right.
should have been.
consensus that I normally hear when it
No, no,
comes to
no,
Pete
no.
Rose.
They're not denying that, but they're using that as a criticism against MLB. That because of that, they won't let him in.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
and it's a crime. It's a crime. You know, there's like people do far worse things than they're in, right? And that's in any category of whether you're, no matter what, you're playing basketball, football, an actor, music, what have you. Like there's just many different things that people have done worse and have been punished a lot less. So Joel Embiid, it's about that time. A couple weeks ago, I read something where he said that he's not, if he got his knee fixed, if he had surgery, he would be back to MVP level. And then Nick Nurse went out there and said that if he had the surgery, he would play better. Now I've read this week that they're shutting him down for the season and that he will be traded during the offseason. Raj, what is your take on that? And of course, the second question, if he's traded, who would be a good suit for him?
Well, first and foremost, he had the surgery already. The surgery backfired. It's his body isn't functioning well with what happened. Right now, they're talking about an additional surgery, which could potentially mean that he have part of his hip bone into like his knee or whatever, something crazy like that. Or the other option is a meniscus surgery where they have a donor that gives him his meniscus, or him or her of his meniscus. Anyway, Alonzo Ball had it. And I'm gonna be real with you, I don't trust that method. I think with somebody that's like 7'1", 7'2", 300 plus pounds, that's not gonna work either. So you're asking a person to take part of their hip to fix their knee. That's not gonna work. So at this point, long story short, I think he should retire. I think this is it. He treated his career as if, he didn't have to take the health very serious. And I know what people are going to say. They're like, well, he played MVP level when he did, but you got to think about it. This dude was the same dude sitting there eating McDonald's on the side, and not taking his weight issue as serious as he should. Mm-hmm. So I don't think he should be traded anywhere because he's a liability. I think at this point he needs to medically retire. see where his body feels, see how his body feels a few years from now, but he needs to hang it up because he's starting to look like Greg Golden. And that's not a good look because if he goes out there and play again, he's going to end up getting the same results or even worse.
What do you think, R&B?
I would say go see that doctor in Germany that Kobe went to see. That did wonders for Kobe and his body, and see, if you're that driven, I'm gonna come from a different narrative. If you're that driven to want to play and want to be on the court and you love the game that much that you feel like you just can't walk away without, trying a different method or option, I would say try that. Go to Germany. See, figure out who Kobe doctor was. Go see that doctor. See if they can help you, get back to some type of decent level form, where you can be serviceable in some way outside of just being on the court and being in the way. And I try that. And if that don't work, then yeah, I agree with Raj. Just go ahead and hang it up because it's over with, man. It's
Well,
over.
let's just we know in reality, more than likely that's not gonna happen, right? He ain't gonna hang it up. At least not right away. Not without some real work. So if the Sixers do trade him, where should he go? Where would it make the most sense, I guess, for both teams? Because if they trade him, it's really not up to him where he ends up, right? It's up to the Sixers.
I'll say this, Mike. I think that this is a question, and this part of this subject is something that may be better for a different day later down the road. Because it's hard to answer that question without us knowing what his health status is going to be going forward. Because if you're going to tell me he's going to be healthy and he's going to be, 60-70% of MVP Joel Embiid and can be very serviceable, plenty of teams that we could probably think of where he could try to go and fit in and help them contend for a championship. But if you're going to tell me that it's going to continue to look like it's looking this year, it's
you don't need to be on no team.
Nobody. You don't need to be on no team.
He's damaged, like real bad. He can't even move.
Yeah, I do believe either way someone would take him, but it'd be less suitors for sure. I think that
he'll be a modern day Bill Walton.
Yeah.
Without the championship by itself, though.
Yeah.
Now I do believe it is. It's kind of like damn, because he's had this injury issue. An injury, he missed his first season because he was hurt.
He was hurt his whole career. He played half his career.
Yeah, and we know that he's at a point where where it's like he wants to do more, but he physically can't. I don't blame the Sixers for shutting him down, and I don't blame them for potentially wanting to trade him.
They should have been shut him down.
Well, absolutely.
But you know what? But can I say something real quick about that, Mike? I do blame the Sixers organization for lying to their fans. I do blame them for that. Because they told us, well, not us. I'm not a Sixers fan, but I'm saying the public.
Yeah, in general.
Yeah, in general. Joel Embiid is healthy. He's coming back to play. He played in the Olympics. He's fine. The surgery went well. He's good. They told us that. And on top of that, they went out and got Paul George so they could sell season ticket owners, holders. So my point is, you lied. You knew he was hurt. In fact, they had information on Joel Embiid not being able to play before the Olympics, but they still allowed him to play because he wanted to gold medal with the Team USA. And that goes to show you, it's not even about his health. It's about making their organization better, or people making them look like a better organization. So if they were concerned, they would have shut him down. They wouldn't even allow him to play in the Olympics. So
Yeah.
the 76ers are they're shady for doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's that's false advertisement. That sounds like something that should be a lawsuit, honestly.
Yeah, they should. If I had a season tickets, I would sue the 76ers for that because you promised us a healthy Joel Embiid and Paul George.
And now you got Paul George.
Podcast P. You don't got Paul George. You got scoring 13 points a night.
You got playoff Paul. That's what you got right now.
Oh,
you got playoff
damn.
Paul.
Playoff P. That's what he
in
calls
the season. In the season.
And you know what's funny?
He's averaging 14 points a game, guys.
He just said that he's going on hiatus on his podcast so he can focus on the season. And I'm looking at the standings like, bro, you're 3 games
season's
out.
over.
You're 3 games out from the play-in. Like,
right.
You're 21-38. Like, you might
season's over.
You took the wrong hiatus. You already been out all season. You might as well just finish off the season not playing.
Keep podcasting.
Like you already partially retired in a sense. At least that's how it feels, as a fan.
Yeah.
But be that as it may, we're going to talk about another player that is speculated about getting traded. And now we know more about. There's a team out here in Phoenix not looking too good. 28-32. And I just love seeing Kevin Durant fail. I love it. I just love it. I loved it as much as I loved watching Cody Rhodes get whipped like a slave last night. I loved it.
No, come on, man.
I loved it. I'm just telling you. Listen, it did look like he got whipped like a slave, though. If you watch it back,
I'm a Cody fan, but it is pretty nice to watch a black man whip a white man.
That's crazy. Yo, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yo, what are we doing? Yo, I'm wilding on this show today.
Hold on. Yeah, we had a white man sell his soul to a black man.
Yes. Oh, and not for nothing, Bianca Belair Liv Morgan with her hair, and it sounded like a whip. She was on some
like a whip.
Oh man, I'm in tears, guys. Oh shoot. Oh, that's diabolical.
Yeah, you heard it here first. John Cena sold his soul.
He did though. He did. He really did though. He told him to do it. He did it.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Oh man.
But
I kept seeing that pop up on my timeline. I'm like, I noticed. I haven't watched wrestling in years, but I know, obviously we know the guys. I said, I can't believe John Cena did this.
You knew the energy. You knew.
Yeah, I knew it. I was like, I had to watch it again and again. I said, I can't believe he did this. I said, to The Rock? Nah. Rock went in the background like. I'm like, yo, this is the most craziest narrative.
Yeah.
That storyline was crazy. Well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So we know that this Phoenix Suns, it ain't working. And I've read that, and they speculated, they spoke to Durant, but it seems like this offseason is going to happen, that he's going to be traded. And if I'm Kevin Durant at this point in my career, we know he didn't want to go back to Golden State. Obviously the rumors of him going to the Lakers were out there a couple weeks ago. And I believe he has a trade, a clause, right?
No, he doesn't. But real quick, allegedly, we'll say on the Golden State, because his team came out, or I think he came out and said that it wasn't that he didn't want to get traded to Golden State. He claims it's because he didn't want to be traded in the middle of the season while there's still something to fight for.
That makes sense.
But I just wanted to make sure you had that information.
Ah, okay.
That makes sense.
I might have missed him saying that. Maybe that is true, but if the thing is this, let's just say he goes back to Golden State and they win. What's the narrative become? He couldn't win without Curry. What's the narrative if he goes back and they lose? Even with Curry, he couldn't win. So going back there, even if he wins, he loses. And if he loses, he loses. There's a no-win situation for him or his legacy if he goes back.
I think that it would be how they lose if he went back to Golden State.
Right.
If he went back to Golden State and they lost in the Western Conference Finals or in the finals, I don't think that that's the same noise that you're going to hear, especially with the West having some of the teams that they have. Now, if he
Right.
went there and they got bounced out in the first round, damn near swept like he got last year by Minnesota, then yeah, that you would hear that. You would definitely hear that noise.
So what if he's traded? What would be a good fit for him in you guys' opinion? What would be a good fit for him where he can do what he wants to do? Obviously, he would like to win another championship, but I'm telling you, I don't know if that's going to happen.
No.
I think maybe for him, that window has closed, quite possibly.
Yeah.
Because
Everybody keep go ahead.
Because you look at the landscape of like even where I personally think he can make a difference, those teams are just this right now, they're just too far gone. And the pieces would have to make sense. A lot would have to go right. And I'm sorry, what were you gonna say before R&B?
I was just gonna say, man, everybody keep throwing around like the Lakers, San Antonio. Let me just say this. I don't think it's a superstar's job to say, hand me the most obscure and hardest motherfucking story you can hand me and watch me come through all the adversity and flourish and be a winner and a champion through all of that. I do not think it's their job. But I also do believe that in the game of sport, it's traditionally always been about parity. And that parity is mano y mano. I want you at your best while I'm at my best. And let's go at this shit, and we're gonna see who is the best. So with that being said, I don't think that it's up to KD to sit up and say, well, what's I think that's what he was trying to do when he formed the shit in Brooklyn, where he said,
Right.
somewhere where I could go and build my own team and possibly win a championship. I think that's what he tried to do with Brooklyn, and it didn't work out because of a multitude of obvious reasons, from the coaching situation to, Harden eventually not wanting to be there, Kyrie in and out the lineup, the COVID
Yeah.
shot, so on and
COVID.
so
Yep.
forth.
All that
It
stuff.
just was a lot that went on when he got to Brooklyn. Not trying to give him any excuses because he has to take some of that, but still a lot went on in Brooklyn. And then outside of that, since he's been in Phoenix, they've been hurt. So they've been outside of, I think, that first season before they got Bradley Beal. They've been virtually. This is really the first season we've seen them play almost a full season where all three of them have been healthy, to be honest with you. So with that being said, I'm sorry for being long with it. With that being said, he needs to pick somewhere. If it's still about legacy for Kevin Durant, along with championships, Kevin Durant should be saying to myself, where can I go that has a good team in place, a solid foundation, and that I can go and fit right in and do my thing and be who I am in Kevin Durant and still have a chance to win and not ruin and fuck my legacy, but add to my legacy. And ladies and gentlemen, call me a homer. I said this before. I think that spot is Detroit. Kevin Durant needs to be in Detroit. We have our leader in Cade Cunningham, our budding young superstar, all-star in Cade Cunningham. We have the big play. We have the guard play. We have some shooters. All we're missing, if you've been watching the Pistons this year, these boys are balling. I think we're hot right now. All we're missing is a player like KD. That
Yep.
at some of these games late in the game, when they want to double down on Cade and stuff like that, that we can get somebody the ball and say, "Hey, big fella, you great, take us there." That's KD. That he should be eyeing somewhere like Detroit, man. I'm telling you, fuck all this, Lakers. And I'm a Laker fan. I love the Lakers, but I get tired of the same franchises always being brought up when it comes to these
Mm-hmm.
great players. And the minute they about to be on the market, oh LA, oh
New,
San
New York.
Antonio,
Yep.
Miami, New York. Oh, how about some of these teams that got something in play? Look, what about a Sacramento? You know,
Mm-hmm.
my bad. Not Sacramento. I'm still thinking Fox being there though. But I forgot he did just get traded to San Antonio. So you know what I'm saying, maybe a San Antonio with a Wemby and something like
Mm-hmm.
that. But
That
I feel like Detroit.
that's a good location, San Antonio. Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
The Pacers. Pacers are one of
Yeah.
those middle bridge teams where he could go in and make an impact.
I'll even throw one out there that we haven't even discussed yet, but they're definitely in the mix of being a contender. The Cleveland Cavaliers. I mean,
I think
it
that
might
I
seem
think that's I think that's a little. I think that's one of those picks. If he went to Cleveland, it's going to be the narrative of, oh, he need a super team to win. Because if he went to Cleveland, that would officially be a super team.
right, but
Those
that's
boys got
Well,
talent
but
and
if
they
we're
ball.
talking trading, what's Cleveland got to give up to get him there? Is the question.
you can move a few pieces. They got enough pieces. They got Mobley. They got Darius Garland. I would probably trade Mobley and probably maybe Jared Allen for Kevin
Oh,
Durant.
That would be idiotic because you just
big
got
man.
rid of your whole front court and defense
Well,
to
somebody got
trade
to
both
go.
of them.
I mean, if I can't trade, if I would trade one of them and maybe like Isaac Okoro. Somebody
That's
got to
another
go.
that's another one of his little trade requests too. Though he don't want to go nowhere where somebody gives up everything to get him, because he feels like that's a detriment to what happened in Phoenix.
Right.
They gave up everything for him, and then he
But
get over there and has nothing to work with. But see what
see,
happens when you're thinking great Kevin Durant.
yeah, nah, I just don't agree. I don't understand what does he want? What does he want then? Damn it. Because this is crazy. There's no team that's not going to trade a 2-for-1 or give you draft picks or trade somebody that's a cog in the wheel. You get what I'm saying? Like somebody got to
Yeah.
go.
It's kind of like
Somebody got to go.
it's business 101, right? You have
It's
to.
simple one-on-one.
Unbelievable,
He's like
man.
a female
No.
lifting.
What I mean is you just said that he doesn't want to go somewhere where they got to give everything up. But what he's got to understand is stuff has
That's
to be
what
given up
happens when you're great.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is business 101. They have to move pieces to move you. Why? That's why Dame Lillard, if he would have ended up in a Miami uniform, it wouldn't have worked because they would have given up everything, and it would have just been him and Butler.
I disagree because I think the only thing that they were possibly going to give up was like Tyler Hero, with some draft picks or something like that.
But he's an all-star.
Milwaukee didn't even give up much.
For who?
D. Lillard.
For Lillard.
Oh, yeah, no, they didn't give up anything. I don't even remember who they traded for.
I don't either.
I think it was draft picks. No, I'm being serious because Dame got traded there. It was almost like he was a free agent.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only way it's going to work for KD. And I don't want to keep harping on it, but KD is asking for the impossible. He's asking for the impossible because he already had it in Brooklyn. And Brooklyn was his team. He went there as a free agent. He brought Kyrie in. Or wait,
what happened
Kyrie
when men get raised by single women? You have mindsets like KD.
Nah, you right about that. You definitely right about that.
I'm sorry,
He's
man.
Definitely got. He's got a lot of. He's got a lot of diva in him. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, that's
true. I can't even say it's diva. It's just confusion. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, no, it's not.
Well,
gonna
he's
work.
just, and it's just
This is not 2K, KD. You can't. This ain't 2K12. You can't trade yourself to another team with other superstars and
It's
be
not
like,
gonna
all
work.
right, let me see. Let me edit this, edit that, and okay, boom. I can make them give up Mbanga for myself in a second round pick, and now I'm over here with all. It just don't work like that, man. It don't. They got to give up something to get you.
Yep. Not everyone can be given up for pennies, but the Lakers. I believe are. I read something. They're like 16-4 or something crazy since the Luka Doncic trade.
Yeah, but he hasn't played all those games though.
No, he hasn't.
They were already in good position before they traded for Luka.
Yeah,
They're in third place in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
Fourth, half game out of third.
yeah.
Houston third. Unless something changed last night from the schedule last night.
No, they're in third now, 37-21. Memphis is 38-22.
Yeah, Memphis 2. OKC 1. So Houston dropped to 4.
No,
Yeah.
Houston's 5. The Grizzlies are 4, and the
dropped.
Lakers are 3.
Yeah, they went on a losing streak since Van Vliet been out.
Who was number 2 then?
The Nuggets.
It's Denver.
Denver jumped up like that. Huh? I know they whooped the Pistons ass the other night. I actually seen Denver on the freeway on their way to LCA Friday. I was on the way to the barber and seen a police escort coming up 75. I was pointing it out to my son. I'm like, they go the MVP, 2-time MVP, and Russell Westbrook, a 1-time MVP on their way. That could be you one day with that police escort. He just put his headphone back in and like, whatever.
Whatever, Dad.
These kids today, man, they don't know how to dream.
Nah.
I remember I would see stuff like that and be like, that could be me one day.
Exactly.
So,
but in totality, the Lakers are doing real well overall. Luka. I seen a picture of Luka staring down Mavericks owner, grilling him. Cold. It's like coldest picture of the year. But
no, that's the GM.
The GM?
Talking about the GM.
GM.
Nico guy?
Yeah, Nico
Harris.
Yeah.
GM.
The idiot of the year.
The idiot of the decade. The century.
You trade Luka and then you blew the Steph Curry Nike deal, which caused them to go to Under Armour. How did you even get the Dallas job?
Call him the wrong name. He's an idiot,
bro.
Oh, he's an idiot.
So
call him Seth.
What are your thoughts on this? On how the Lakers are playing, and do they really have a chance to go to the finals?
Yeah, they do. It's
you go ahead, R&B.
I'm just saying, yeah, they do. It's proven. Look at they play. Look at how they've been playing before the Luka trade. Look at how they playing now since the Luka trade. The only thing that I think is a object in the way of them getting to the finals is the fact that I think at some point you're going to be challenged at your front court depth. I don't think we have a lot of front court depth, but other than that, it's wide open. If they can somehow avoid Nikola Jokic. And somebody fuck around and knock Denver off, or they can avoid playing Sengun down there in Houston. Somebody fuck around and knock them off. Like if they can get an easy little route where they don't really have to match up against none of the great bigs in the West. Sky's the limit when you got those two on your team and everybody playing like they playing. So I think they can do it.
I mean,
which is another reason I don't want KD to go there. Because they don't need him. Go somewhere and help someone else elevate. God damn it.
I mean, yeah, but they would, unless they can move some things around, they it's gonna be hard for them to miss Denver. It's gonna be real hard. The only way they can almost guarantee, or they have a less likely chance of missing Denver, is if they get the 1 seed. But even then, you still might run into Denver in the Western Conference Finals.
Right.
I do believe that they have enough to get back to the finals. I do believe that JJ Redick obviously faced a lot of criticism this season going into it, and he's proven that he can coach. That's one thing. He's proven that. And, because, we know that Anthony Davis starting the season was playing some good ball. And even though now he's somewhere else, with Dallas rather, Lakers still are playing real good basketball. LeBron is still a top 5 player in the league.
It's crazy.
We know what Luka can do, and I think he's still trying to find himself a little bit, but they're figuring it out. So I do believe that, looking at the landscape of the Western Conference, because I got it here in front of me, outside of the Nuggets and the Thunder, I think they could beat any other team with no issue. Not saying they can't beat the Nuggets or the Thunder, but what I'm saying is I would give them the edge over any other team outside of those two in the Western Conference. Those top 2 teams going to be a little harder to compete with.
I wouldn't get them the edge, Mike. You know why? Youth and speed. With a lot of these other teams that aren't Denver or OKC, which OKC has it, Denver would probably be, I hate to say it, Denver would probably be maybe their best matchup. And it sounds crazy saying that with them having Joker,
but
the
they're not
youth and the speed of some of them other teams.
They're not a fast-paced team. Denver's more of a like a half-court team. They rather set up the play, get the best shot. I get
which is why we've seen the Lakers play them so well in the playoffs. Like even when they got swept, those were 4 entertaining games because the matchup is a good matchup for the Lakers. It's just they just couldn't close the deal in any of them. Denver closed the deal each time.
Yeah, and we know what Denver brings to the table.
Absolutely.
And they know what they bring to the table, and what
I want to know. I want to see how Dallas look once AD and Gafford and those boys come back, because they missing some bigs that's out with injury right now too. And you know what I'm saying? I think Dallas could be a problem once AD get back healthy and Gafford come back. I think they could definitely be a problem in the team that you don't want to see in the first round.
Right.
Who's that? You said Dallas?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I'm Dallas, I feel a little stupid because you traded Luka for AD and then boom, he gets hurt. Like he's been pretty healthy for most of the season, up until that point. But what I do think is that they got a good shot. They got a good shot at even still. If he can come back, they can go on a run. Is he supposed to come back soon?
He's going to get reevaluated in a week.
Yeah, like another week, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to get reevaluated.
Because it wasn't no crazy injury. I think it was just like some groin shit.
Yeah, it was a groin strain. I just wanted to add in because I agree with what you guys are saying when it comes down to the Lakers. I think at this point, once Luka figures this out, like how to work with LeBron or with how, or LeBron figures out how to work with Luka, it's going to be a very, very hard team to beat. But they got to also address, like you mentioned, R&B, their front court. Jackson Hayes, he don't have enough weight on him to deal with Jokic. He don't got enough weight on him to deal with, anybody that's heavy in the paint. He gets pushed around. I watched it happen when they went up against, what team did they play last? Can't think right off the top. What team did they play last, guys?
Who's that?
The Lakers.
I can't recall.
I can't remember. But anyway, the center that he was going up against kept pushing Jackson Hayes out the paint. He's not as stocky as most of these centers that's in the West. So it just goes to show you that it's about matchup. See exactly what's going to happen in Western Conference. If you get somebody like if you get a team like, let's say, in the first round, you probably get like, let's say the Sacramento Kings. They're going to blow them out.
Clippers.
They're going to or you get the Clippers. That's who they was playing against. Yeah. Oh, my man.
Zubac.
Zubac was doing work, by the way. I told y'all he's a problem. But anyway,
he got better than Chet though.
He is. He played more games than him. He's already better.
He's not better than Chet, man.
He played more games
today, Rod.
He played way more games than Chet this season. That conversation is over. He already proves he's better. What's the best ability? Availability. What's the best ability? Availability. Being there.
Chet's there now. So we'll see going forward.
And Chet is not who he's advertised to be. I will say that. He's
only been back like 3 games.
All right, so how long we gonna wait? We're gonna wait till the playoffs?
Oh man, here we go. This dude been back 3 games and he say how long we gonna wait?
We're gonna wait till the playoffs so he can.
Ron's that dude that drafted quarterback number 1 and we sitting in the press box and he throw a pick and he like, yeah, he gotta go. Like, who does that? Like, it's his first game as a rookie quarterback in the NFL. Who does that? Trade him. I don't want him.
We'll give Chet some time to prove that he's worthy. But anyway,
Williams would be out of a job right now if Raj was the GM of Chicago.
That's a fact. He would never got the job because his nail polish. But what I'm saying is the Lakers need to fix that front court problem, that front court issue. And if once they fix that, sky's the limit. I think they can go to the finals.
I mean, hey, anything can happen. It's good. It's always a long season, and we know that the other thing is sometimes players get hurt, injuries play a role,
right?
And anything can happen. Well, we're at the 2-hour mark, gentlemen. So there's a couple lighter topics though, but I ain't worried about them. Is there anything else specific either of you would like to cover?
No.
I do have one thing I would like to cover.
All right, I
won't be long with it, I promise.
No, you good. Go for it.
I just want to say kudos to the WWE last night for a great PLE in Elimination Chamber. That was a great pay-per-view. I am such a fan of the work that they've done over the past year and a half since Triple H has taken over. The storytelling, the layers to it, the acting, the wrestling, it has been phenomenal. The only thing I will say, please don't start doing this whole little 2-night every pay-per-view shit. It's okay to have 2 nights of WrestleMania, even though I wish it was still one Sunday. I miss my one Sunday, where I just sat there for 6.5 hours, just straight WrestleMania. I'll take the 2 nights. They started rumoring that I think this summer, SummerSlam will be 2 nights.
Yeah, it's gonna be right. It's gonna be right. It's gonna be right here in New Jersey, and next year it's in Minnesota. It will be 2 nights, and then
2 nights.
Royal Rumble's rumored to be the next one to go to 2 nights.
Wow,
I don't want to see all of these 2 nights. It's too much. We can't. If I seen a rumor today that said that they're thinking about doing regular 2-night pay-per-views, period, from here on out. Like last night, the Elimination Chamber, it would have been 2 nights. You know what I'm saying? We don't need that. We don't need that. Just it's okay for the makeshift pay-per-views like your WrestleMania, your SummerSlam, your Royal Rumble. Maybe if you can get the right type of storyline going, Survivor Series. But I'm really at a strong maybe on that. But those 3, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, I'm okay with. But the other ones, like, nah, that's too much. Only the makeshifts. Wow. But you're doing a good job right now. I like the product. Hey man, it's The final boss, baby. The final boss.
What I'll say to that is yes, they've been doing phenomenal with PLEs, but they have faltered with Raw and SmackDown. Um, they're just having a hard time getting consistency with interest, at least for me. I do watch, but I'm not. I find myself YouTubing the more important parts. Um, you know, they don't. They just don't have the time to make everyone care about everything. I feel like, but the main stories, they hit them. They nail on the head. The PLEs, they're great. They're great. They do such a great job with the just in getting the point across. As for the 2 night thing, I personally don't think anything outside of WrestleMania should be 2 nights. Now, I didn't believe in the 2 night thing at first. I understood why they did it, and then they were supposed to go back to 1 night. But then I realized something.
More money.
WrestleMania 36 was the one that was 2 nights, right? WrestleMania 32 and 35. WrestleMania 32 was Roman Reigns and Triple H in the main event. One of the worst WrestleManias I had to watch. It was just not a good show for me. Like, just the match, just so many wrestlers were hurt. Like, they kind of had to make some last minute changes. Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose gave me a headache because it was so bad. Like, it was really not a good WrestleMania. That match didn't start till midnight. So, like, and then the match was not that good. So you're like, Jesus. And then I had to work the next day. And then you take WrestleMania 35, the women main evented. The main event didn't start till 12:30. Now,
yeah, they botched. They botched the finish.
Oh, to make it worse. Now, I watched the pre-show. That starts at 5. Now the event was 8 hours. And then, because it started at 12:30, then into like 1. And then I'll be watching the post show. I'll be wanting to watch it all. So now I've watched 10 hours. So I can understand going to the 2 nights, breaking it up, even though this year they done fucked up. Bro, WrestleMania Sunday is on 4/20 and it's Easter Sunday. So if you go to church, smoke weed, and like wrestling, this is Christmas for you. Like, I'm just like, yo, like I was looking because my mom asked me about Easter, but she knows WrestleMania weekend's a holy grail. Don't ask me to go nowhere. Don't ask me to be nowhere. Don't ask me to do fucking shit. That and my birthday. Those are the 2 times of the year.
Not even a Super Bowl.
Not even Super Bowl.
Damn.
I mean, that kind of goes without saying. Everyone's doing the Super Bowl. But, WrestleMania, my birthday, holy grails. So I'm just like, yo, mom, she drops my daughter off later, be like, yeah, about Easter. Yeah, we're going to have to do Easter lunch, not dinner. Like, it is WrestleMania weekend. Sorry. But as for like SummerSlam, all right, I can buy that 2 nights because like I don't think they put enough on SummerSlam anymore. So if you're going to do the same moniker that you're doing WrestleMania, 7 matches each night, getting more people on the card, cool. Survivor Series, no, it's not the same. Now they do this war game shit. They don't have the traditional 5-on-5s. It's falling out of the big ones for me. And then Royal Rumble, I mean, they have the 2 Rumble matches. The champions don't really defend. You really don't need 2 nights for the Rumble. You don't. Like,
maybe that's what they're trying to do though.
Get more people on the show
so that they can, put more people on the show. Because I was thinking of it like that. You could have a women main event Royal Rumble night 1. You had a men main event Royal Rumble night 2.
But the thing is, it's harder to get people on that show because you have 60 wrestlers in 2 matches.
That's why they got to start taking it back to the old school days where I remember if you would watch a Royal Rumble back in the day, if a person lost a title match, they were entering the Royal Rumble. Oh, yeah. You gotta just go beat my ass at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view and go on to WrestleMania and think that's it? No, I'm about to try to win this Royal Rumble now that you beat me and get another shot at that motherfucker or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's ways you can do it and work it. I guess just gotta see. But I'm kind of in line with you though. I just WrestleMania. I didn't even want to see go to 2 nights, but
Right.
I've adapted to it and I'm accepting it. I don't need all these other pay-per-views to be 2 nights. I don't need to be trying to figure out my weekend for every 3 weeks when they
Yeah,
decide to do a
like
PLE.
bro, like I don't need every week to be trying to like figure shit out every month, like you said. It's like, bro, just give me my wrestling on one night. You wanna do like I said, you wanna do WrestleMania and SummerSlam, each of them 2 nights, I'm cool with it. But as for all the other ones, like bro, it's like, come on. We don't need all the extra stuff. I don't need all the extra stuff. That's for sure. That's for sure. Like, who knows? They're gonna do what they want. It's the same thing, but you know what? I'm gonna say this. It's the same thing as the NFL adding on that extra game in the season, adding on those extra playoff teams. Wasn't fucking necessary, wasn't broke, don't fix it, but they just said, nah. Exactly.
That's what I tell
Always
you.
come back to money.
Think about it. With WrestleMania being 2 nights, it's when we tune in to WrestleMania nowadays, we're looking at an attendance gate that's breaking 100,000
every year.
When you're breaking 100,000 and at the gate for 2 nights in a row, can you imagine how much money they're making off that shit? Think about the money that they're making off WrestleMania for it being 2 nights. No, you know what I'm saying?
They might even push it to 3 nights if that's the case.
No, I don't think they'll do that.
Make it a
That's ain't
WrestleMania
nobody
weekend.
about to be tuning in on no Monday.
Well, the thing,
or no Friday night. Like no.
well, the other thing is this too. I remember watching an interview with Ludacris. I forget who was interviewing him, and they were talking about music, and he was like, "Well, I'm really focused on other things, and acting and things." So, like, talking about acting, why make so many Fast and Furious movies? And he just laughs, goes, he's got that distinct, deep voice. Ha ha! I'm gonna put it to you like this: if they budget us 100 million and it turns into 10 billion, need I say more? Need I say more? You turning 100 million into 10 billion? Like even a billion. If I'm turning 100 million into 500 million, like it really but that movie still makes billions because guess what? We go and we watch it. Like people go to the movie theater. Like
they're still buying.
My wife is the big Fast
I personally haven't seen a Fast and Furious movie since the second one.
Oh my goodness!
But
I'm not much of a fan, but I'm forced to watch it.
I think. Well, you know what? If you really watch the second one and the third one, and then just said this ain't for you,
wasn't the third one Tokyo Drift?
Yeah. But at the end of that
was the one that turned me away from it. I like Fast and Furious 1 and 2. Tokyo Drift turned me away.
I
never went back.
I remember watching that in the theater, and then at the end, seeing Vin Diesel and everyone just clapping. It was like the series had been saved, and now here we are, 7 movies later. I thought they were gonna do it. I thought they were gonna end it when Paul Walker died, but no.
I thought they would have ended it at 10. Like damn.
Well, here's the thing. This movie that the last one was 10, but what happened was they wrote such a large script, they split it into 2 movies.
That's ridiculous.
This better be it, man.
But it's a money.
Vin Diesel need to die. I'm only talking about the character in the movie.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever his name is in the movie, he need to die.
Damn,
In this shit.
he's gonna kill Dominic Toretto.
No,
If I
somebody,
can't have no more black fucking fans, period.
somebody gonna clip that part. They're gonna clip that part. Vin Diesel need to die.
Oh man.
Oh man,
gentlemen,
that's hilarious.
another good episode in the books. Next week, me and Elijah will be linking up to start airing this live on the network. So it'll be live streamed from there. That is the plan. He's got a camera for you. I got to mail yours out, R&B. So if you just send me your address and a text, so I can mail that this week, so that by next week, hopefully we'll be in position to do that.
Sounds good.
So everyone, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Make sure you check out all the episodes over on the COC network. We will be airing live from there very soon, hopefully as soon as next week. And check out all the sponsors that we have there. And more sponsorship coming, more big things coming. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.